Okay, hello everyone. Welcome back to the Cartoon Soup podcast. Today we are ending our Batman animated retrospective. This is the last Batman movie that is currently on our watch list, except for God damn it,
Batman
I
Ninja
forgot the name.
2.
What?
Batman Ninja. I don't know the whole thing, but it's just a second Batman Ninja.
They made a second Batman Ninja?
Is that not what we were talking about?
No, I was talking about the Choose Your Own Adventure one. We still need to review that.
Oh, but they don't know that because it'll come out before.
Okay, good point. This will be our second to last episode. When does the second Batman Ninja come out?
Marco, I think it already came out. Did it not?
What? No, you're joking. You're joking. It can't have been that soon already.
Sorry, it's Batman Ninja versus Yakuza League. What the fuck?
That movie was fucking crazy.
God, can we listen? It's gonna be a while before we watch that because I need a break.
Yeah, that's crazy. We've just watched so many Batman films that we
Wait, and then
definitely need a break.
there's another Batman movie coming out this year as well, and it's like Batman Aztec or something.
Oh yeah, yeah, I forgot about that one. You mentioned that.
But you know what? Maybe we'll do those later on, very later on in the year.
Yeah. Anyways, back to the point. We're talking about Batman: The Doom That Came to Gotham. Let's just get into it. So the synopsis is Batman returns to Gotham after a great evil is discovered that plans to completely destroy Gotham. He must face his true self while defeating these demons. I guess we should just get right to the point right away. I genuinely actually like this movie, which was surprising, but I'm not gonna lie, I also struggled with this movie because it does have a horror element to it. I'm gonna be so honest, I watched the first 20 minutes of this movie during nighttime and I decided I'll watch it the next day in the morning because I was just too suspenseful. This movie isn't even that scary. I just personally hate suspense. And like if I get too much suspense at once, I have to like take a break from media or else it becomes too much for me. Yeah.
Thoughts on like cosmic horror and I guess Lovecraftian horror?
I don't think I'm the biggest fan of it overall. Well, here's the thing. I just feel like the monsters I've seen so far, like I feel like just monsters in general don't do much for me. I guess when it comes to horror, I feel like there has to be like some interesting plotline other than the fact that they're monsters for me to really enjoy it, if that makes sense. I don't hate monsters in general, but I do somewhat enjoy them. I just feel like I needed a stronger element in this movie when it came to the monsters. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. But overall, I don't hate them. I'm just not the biggest fan. But yeah, this movie was just very suspenseful for me, so I had to take a break. I genuinely felt nervous, which I hated. But I did like this movie. So how did you feel about the ending where Batman turns into a bat monster?
I think that Batman becoming a Batman was literally the best part of the story.
I did too. I loved it. I thought it was the best thing that they could have done. I just feel like it was a really fun twist to the movie, and you know what I loved even more? It's the fact that he stayed a monster. It's the fact that they
Yes.
didn't reverse him back to normal. I love the fact that he's still a monster by the end of the movie. I honestly think him being a monster was just a nice element to this movie, and honestly made this movie a lot better to me.
Yeah, and that's the one thing I'll give this movie. I think, and listen, I don't know a lot about like Lovecraftian horror and stuff, but I think the fact that because this was inspired by that, they had more freedom to be like a little, I don't want to say morbid, but a little bit more like free to do what they want with these characters, and them turning Batman into a Batman was amazing.
Okay, so I get that this is an alternate universe story, but I feel like they made a lot of the Batman side characters and Batman villain a little bit too different from the canon. At least that's my opinion.
So in the comic, which I did read, the two new minor characters, like the boy and the girl, they're not in this. In the comic, it's Jason Todd and Tim Drake.
So it isn't actually the two guy characters that are in this movie. They just replaced them with these two random characters.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I thought they were trying to like say that these were the new Robins. I thought that's the energy I was getting from this movie.
That's one of those changes that happens whenever they're like adopting something into a movie that just doesn't make sense because what was wrong with having the three Robins in this movie? Why did you have to replace two of them, you know?
Yeah. Wait, so which one was the Robin that was still there?
Dick.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. It just felt like out of place. Like I felt like it would have made sense to just have the regular Robins there. Like I honestly don't see that big of a difference. I mean, do the Robins still die in the comic? Because other
Yes.
than that, then I don't really see the purpose of changing these characters.
I
You
know.
know?
Yeah, it was a
Um,
weird change.
so this is obviously an alternate universe story, but I feel like Gotham by Gaslight did this better when it came to like changing the characters. Like there were still major character differences, but I feel like the characters, at least the majority of characters, in Gotham by Gaslight were still grounded with their original canon, and I don't feel like I got that vibe with this movie, especially with like Mr. Freeze and Penguin. I don't know why Penguin was here. Maybe it's just me, but like he felt unnecessary. Like I get that he was part of the original four who like created this pact or whatever, but they could have done the same thing without him, and there would have been no real change to the movie. And I feel like I needed more from Mr. Freeze. I just felt like he was too different, and he was his own character, and I just wasn't caring for the new character that they made him.
I think one thing that I did love about this story, and about this world specifically, is its version of these characters because
Mm.
it is so different. What I like is like, okay, from what I understand about cosmic horror, it's just like the fear of being small and something bigger out there, like just somewhere out there. You know, it's the fear of that. So I liked how like these established baddies in the Batman IP, Penguin, Mr. Freeze, and Two-Face, they really weren't bad guys. They were like tools that were used by the actual bad guy. So in that sense, yes, their characters were like lessened and reduced, and they were used as tools. I don't know. I think it made sense for the world that they established.
Yeah, and I wasn't completely against the character changes. A character change that I did like was Rachel Ghoul and Talia. I felt like their change was still landed close to what like their original characters would be doing. I feel like that change still made sense to me, and I feel like other characters' changes didn't really make sense to me as much. But I did like Rachel Ghoul and Talia. I feel like they were a nice addition to this movie. So okay, Green Arrow. We both don't like Green Arrow, right? Like in
I feel
general.
like, yeah, I feel like I have established that I do not like it.
So I was trying to take his plotline seriously, but when he died after like going over this whole speech about how he was supposed to like save the world and everything, I thought I was gonna laugh. I thought I was gonna laugh out loud for real. It was so hilarious in my eyes, the fact that he just died that fast.
So then I would prefer you to read the comic because would you like some spoilers?
Yeah, yeah.
In the comic, Oliver Queen, he still gives his speech, like he gives this rant about he is the chosen one. But immediately after he gives that speech, he is murked by Ivy, and it is so hilarious because he's straight up like, I am the knight, I have to do this. And then he gets killed by Ivy, and it is the funniest thing because it's not even that he like sacrificed himself for the greater good. He just gets killed. And then Batman's the one who like defeats Ivy, I'm pretty sure. But his death is so much funnier in the comic.
I love that. I love that. Even in the comic, they're still shitting on Green Arrow. Oh,
As
speaking
they
of
should.
characters, I actually like the difference of. I actually like that Poison Ivy was this like monster thing. It looked really cool in my opinion. Even though it wasn't like her as a character, I still really liked the fact that she was just this weird monster thing. I will say I don't like what they did with Two-Face. I think that's who I'm talking about. I feel like they should have focused more on him in the movie. I feel like if they were gonna go like creating Two-Face route, I feel like he should have had a bigger focus in the movie. At least there should have been at least a little bit of discussion about like where he was going as a character before he died. I don't know. I feel like he was just used as a plot device, and I wanted him to have like an actual character. But yeah, that's it.
Okay. So the bat suit. I loved it. The bat suit was hot. I love a good era appropriate bat suit, just like in Gotham by Gaslight. That being said, not a fan of the voice actor. Personally, I don't think he did a good Batman. No offense to him. I just have my preferences. What about you, Marco?
I didn't hate the voice acting. I honestly didn't. None of the voice acting really bothered me in this movie. You saying that a man was hot was something I would never have imagined.
Whoa! I didn't say a man was hot. I said the bat suit was hot.
Okay, okay. You had to clarify.
So in the comic, not to make this about the comic, but in the comic, the character Blood, I think is his name. I prefer him more in the comic because his true form is so much funkier. Like I don't know, he's like this fire demon or whatever. But in the comic, he literally just looks like this fire gremlin in like red elf shoes. It's creepy but cute. Oh, so I might cut this out, but I wrote the craziest thing that happens in this movie is how Lucius Fox wasn't hanged. So I feel like the world's greatest detective could have done some basic sleuthing to figure out where that guy hid the papers instead of using a 1920s version of a blacklight. Like, I know, like, Batman's whole thing is gadgets, but in my honest opinion, it sort of felt a little stupid. Like, you're telling me he used a a DIY blacklight over just, like, following scrapes on the ground or something? Okay, Marco. Jim Gordon?
I honestly didn't get that strong vibes from him.
Okay.
I don't know. I think I did get weird vibes by the way he was talking about his daughter. Maybe that's just me though.
My
I
Barbara.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like there was this like disappointed tone in his voice, and I was like, that's a bit much for me. What did you think?
Well, the question here is, do you think
Does he
he
hate
cheats on
women?
his wife? Yeah. Does he hate women? Do you think he cheats on his wife?
Well, I'm gonna say he cheats on his wife. I'm not sure about the hating woman, but no. I think you have to be a woman hater to be able to cheat on a woman.
Or not care about women?
Yeah, yeah, that's true too. So I'm not sure. I feel like it's up in the
I
air for me.
I said that because this takes place in the 1920s, he doesn't beat his wife, but he does chronically cheat on her, and whenever she brings it up, he's like, "Well, you should be thankful I'm not an alcoholic."
You're so right. You're so right. I forgot about the time period. Oh my god, you're so right.
He's like, and he's considered a good guy because he doesn't beat his wife. So I think it's so crazy to me how I don't even remember his name, but like the lizard guy, he actually plays a very important role in the comic. Instead of the penguin being the one to sort of show everyone like where the book is hidden and like to do the ritual, it was the lizard guy because he was a human and he's the one who showed him where the book was and like showed him like the ritual and stuff.
I'm confused. What lizard guy are you talking about?
The lizard guy in the movie.
I have no idea who you're talking
What are
about.
you talking about? Look it up. Look it up.
What's
The
his
dude that
name?
came to Gotham, lizard guy. I don't remember.
Oh, that guy. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. When he was a human in the comic, he played a really important role in like summoning this cosmic horror. So I thought it was so funny that in the movie they reduced him to like nothing and he just got dissolved. And that's it. I think that's all I have to say. Overall,
Overall, this is a pretty good movie. I enjoyed it a lot. Horror isn't my thing, and this isn't horror, but like I did struggle with this because it was very suspenseful. But overall, I did really enjoy this movie, and I just love the fact that they turned Batman into a bat. Like that literally topped everything of this movie, and that makes this movie unforgettable in my eyes. So yeah, it was pretty good.
okay. Well, I'm not a fan of Lovecraftian horror. I don't think I've experienced enough of it to have a solid opinion, but I don't think at this moment in my life I care for it much. So in general, this movie was a hard sell. I also made the mistake of reading the comic after watching it, which I do think affected how I viewed the movie.
Do you think the comic was better?
I do. I do think the comic is better. I feel like in the transition from turning it from a comic to a movie, I feel like it lost the charm of the comic. And I just think that it's a shame because this feels like a really like fresh idea for Batman. But even if I didn't read the comic, I still think I'd have the same like general overall opinion. Just like you, I think the only standout thing in this was the fact that it was Lovecraftian and then Batman became a Batman. But those are like really the only two standout things from this movie. Other than that, it just sort of felt like I watched this at night, like right before I went to bed, and I was like, okay, anyway. Like it's I didn't think about it afterwards. So it just felt like a whatever movie.
Mal, I've asked you this before, and I'll ask you this again. If you had to predict where you would rank this from S to F, where would you rank it?
Yeah. So as I said, the comic was better, but I didn't hate it. So I gave it a C.
I'm surprised. I gave it a B. I think it's pretty good. That's normal. You giving it a lower rating than I do? I think that's normal, isn't it?
Yeah, didn't we have this conversation before?
Yeah. Anyways, um, I'm just surprised. I thought you would genuinely like really enjoy this.
No. No.
No, that's too
The
bad.
comic was better. Don't know what to say.
Do you think if you didn't read the comic, you would give this?
I do because I still don't care for Lovecraftian horror and really the only thing I liked was like a handful of things.
Hmm. Okay. Anyways, you guys, that's our thoughts on Batman: The Doom That Came to Gotham. Our social medias are all in the description, and that's everything. So goodbye.